Well, I think once they're very predictable. Of the set pieces, you're not going to say that it's not good to score on set pieces. It is outstanding. I'm just saying the issue was in Europe for a very long time because it took us a year before the Lisbon game. The goal before that was Eindhoven away to create chances or even score. So it took us a year to score a goal away from home in Europe. And now the last 3-1 that you scored in the league are obviously on set pieces. But I want to invite you here to look at, that's the Man United game in Bukayo Saka. If you pause here, think about Liverpool and what we showed before. When Mo Salah goes inside, you have the run of Joe Gomez, you have Diogo Jota running, or you have Nunez running, or you have Conor Bradley sometimes that is inside that runs. Look at what Bukayo Saka has against Man United. Yes, they played the 5-4-1, but that's predictable. We all know he's going to play with Odegaard. Obviously, he's going to play with Odegaard. Everyone sees that. Now, same thing. Go back to Liverpool. Can you beat the line? Mason Mount is not doing his job. This is where you can pass that ball now to Declan Rice and enjoy a quick 3v2. That's called creating, playing between the lines. You're attracting the team one way, you go the other way and see what you can do with that 3v2. Now, once again, too predictable. We go to Zinchenko as you're going to roll it now. Ball goes to Zinchenko. Zinchenko can play his winger. He doesn't play his winger. He prefers to play his 10. If you play the winger, then the 10 can make the run. And what do you do when you're Arsenal? When you're in problem, you have a little problem, you can't open up a team, you go to Bukayo Saka. But Malacia knows that. I go back now to another one. Okay, this time he plays his winger high and wide. Martinelli 1v1 with the lot. Jamie, what's the first trait of character or first attribute, I would say, sorry, of Martinelli?
Pace. That's what you worry about as a defender, yeah.
Would you like to think that that's enough pace? They're not doubling up. By the time the lid gets there, I don't think he will make it. So I'm going to give you a mark. The mark will be the ball boy, as you're going to see it as you roll it, to see where it started. If I'm the winger now, once I pass that ball boy, I'm going. I'm not coming back. Understand why I give you that mark? Okay. So Andoni said, Iraola, that sometimes his team needs to go and play direct. You're not playing your 1v1. Okay, you're not playing your 1v1. I would say 10 seconds after, maybe a bit more than 10 seconds after, look at where your winger was in a 1v1 situation against Man United. And if you press pause now, look at where he is. He was in a 1, and then you don't even see the ball boy.
Where's the ball boy gone?
I don't even know. He's not in the picture anymore. But you were in a 1v1 situation. We worked to put you in a 1v1. Why are you bringing the ball back and play here? A lot of things need to change, you know, in order to win the Premier League. And it's in the title. You said the word winning the Premier League. When I see Liverpool play, it looks like they're trying to win it. I see other teams play, they look like, let's not lose it. Understand what I'm saying, obviously, so to speak. But when I see Liverpool play against Fulham with 10 men, how can you send 5 bodies in between lines and have a way of trying to create decoys or create opportunities? Same thing, people were waiting for you also. So if you go and win the league, you have to go and grab it and win it. And you're showing that the team is attacking on the right. We all know what City was doing for years. We all know what Mo Salah does. You all know that in my time we're attacking on the left. You have to find a solution.
You were probably over-reliant, not over-reliant, but your left-hand side was so famous in the Arsenal team you played for. But how important was sort of Lundberg? He still chipped in with goals. So Arsenal need more from that left side. They do. Because as I said, when you won the title in 02 and 04, Lundberg played a huge part of it. But we all still know the left-hand side of that team is probably, you know, what you're famous for.
Yeah, but for me, it is right because you're going to talk about the team, the side of the team that was decisive and was making a difference, but they were helping also on the other side. It has to be a team effort. And we talked about it. I always say, it's not because you score goals that you're going to win, that one man's going to score a lot of goals. Everybody needs to score and be important. Like we used to create, Freddie used to make that Freddie Lundberg run in between lines and score. So this is what it is. When you want to be champion or you want to find a way, this is what's happening to Man City right now. People adapt to what you do. What are you going to bring the year after and the year after? So set pieces are coming, but don't go away from what you were and what you were creating before.
Thierry, tell us about Dennis Bergkamp.
Now, it's tough for me to see Dennis there because it's you know, I have my Arsenal hat on, and for me, it changed the mood of the camp. I'm not saying that Arsenal were not successful before Dennis Bergkamp, and we all know what happened with the Joel Graham and Ian Wright and Kevin Campbell, you know, obviously. bless him. You know, you kind of thinking that this is the guy at one point with the likes of Patrick Vieira, they arrived a bit before, where people were like, hang on a minute, we can win again. And with the way he was doing it, and obviously with the understanding that I had with him, it was just like we could find each other without even looking at each other.
Thierry,
it was just
I know you
outstanding.
don't get totally involved in, placing plays because you know Dennis Bergkamp so much. Would he be, if you were really doing this, would he be a lot higher for you?
Yeah, but then I would have been lying, because I cannot be objective when I talk about Dennis Bergkamp, because for me, this is the guy that set the tone for me when I arrived at Arsenal. Because when I used to arrive at 8 in the dressing room, the guy is at 7:30. I arrive at 7:30, he arrived at 7:29. Then, you know, I'm coming to it, he's there to it before me. You know, I'm taking free kicks, he finished taking free kicks. You know, I'm like, what, is this guy for real? You know, so I will always have the utmost respect for guys like that, because he showed me the way. And he also, by the way, you're not taking the keys off the hand of a guy like that. You have to make sure that, you know, you grab the keys and you do better than what he did, which was virtually almost impossible when I first arrived. But because he was the way he was, he showed me the path. So it's very difficult for me to not put Dennis Bergkamp higher. But hey, this is not my list.
Afternoon.
Can we start with any team news you've got for tomorrow?
Not much.
Okay, thanks for that. How is Declan Rice? Will he be available?
He's fine. We will make the decision now whether he's available or not.
And Zinchenko and Calafiori, you said they've been close before, but they haven't quite made the squads. Are they?
No, Alex and Ray will still be out of the squad for tomorrow.
Okay. You made wholesale changes for this competition in the previous 2 rounds. Will that continue tomorrow, do you think?
We will decide that in the morning in relation to how the squad is, obviously the relevance of the match and where we are in the quarterfinals, so it becomes a very important match. So we'll decide what is the best team to win it.
You mentioned how important the game is. It's coming up to 5 years now that you've been in charge of Arsenal this week. You've turned them into title challengers, but it's only that one trophy in your first season. Does this competition and where you are now with a home time, the quarter-final, represent a big chance for silverware?
Well, the Charity Shield as well twice, no? So it's 3, yeah.
3.
We need more. We want more and we want the big ones, that's for sure.
A lot's been made, Mikel, I know you've been asked this question over and over in the past couple of weeks about set pieces and open play. If there are any issues as far as you're concerned, do you feel you can remedy them with the squad you've got?
Yeah.
Or do you feel maybe the January window represents an opportunity to do something?
I fully trust the squad and our players and the amount of situations and things that we generate in the match, how little we concede. I fully trust my players.
Just one final one from me. Crystal Palace looked like a different proposition from earlier on this season. What kind of game are you expecting against them tomorrow?
Very tough always when you look at the last results and the approach that they have, the quality of individuals that they have, how they are coached as well. It's always really tough. It's another layer of difficulty, especially when you play a team twice in 4 days. So we have prepared for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, guys. Ian from TalkSport.
Hi, Mikel. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
It's a trophy, the League Cup this year, that some teams, I think, need to win, like Spurs and Man United and maybe Newcastle. Some teams like Palace and Brentford want to win. Where do you put Arsenal? The need to win or just want to win?
We want to win, I mean, and do everything that you can to win it.
You don't need to win it. What I mean is, do you need to win some silverware this year, and this at least would relieve some pressure?
It's not about, I mean, the pressure is coming in a big club because you want to do the best that you possibly can, and that's related at the end of winning the major trophies, and this is what we want to do.
You spoke about the fact that the goal situation you can resolve from within the club. How frustrating was Saturday not being able to break down Everton, looking back on it, and how can you go about making sure that in future when you dominate games like you have this year and not score, you can score?
Well, the frustrating part is that watching it back, all the incredible things that the team does and still not get rewarded for the 3 points. And looking back at other games in the league, and our margins were 10 times bigger than many other teams that have won. that day. But this is football. At the end, what we have to do is put the ball in the back of the net, and then we don't have that issue. But what the team is producing and the way the team dominates the game, very little to say.
But do you see why people say there's an over-reliance on either Gabriel or Saliba scoring or Bukayo Saka? Because outside of that, you're not getting many goals from other people where you have in the past.
But that's always the narrative, you know, when you score 5 goals and another 5 and then 3, you're not going to talk about it. And you concede probably, by now you don't have that many clean sheets. And when you don't score a goal, obviously you're going to come back to that. That's normal, that's the narrative. For us, it doesn't change. We want to improve regardless we score 3 or 5. And even though we didn't concede anything on Saturday, there are still things defensively I want to do better. That doesn't change our work.
And finally, with team selection, how much do you have to balance the fact that tomorrow this is a knockout, this is all in one night, compared with the really busy Christmas and New Year schedule, which is literally around the corner now?
We have managed the squad in the best possible way, to make sure that everybody's fit and available, feel parts of it, and is ready when the team needs it. So if we have to make changes, I'm sure the boys that they come in, they will have that, and others that they're going to have to play as well because of the numbers.
George, BBC?
Okay, well, I just wondered, everything's going on at the moment. What's the sort of stats telling you about how Arsenal are performing? Because there's certain ones that you look, you're scoring less goals than last season, but you create less chances, but then you haven't had Odegaard, you scored 5 at West Ham. So just how do you assess, and you're talking about the narrative, about how you feel the team's performing at the moment?
Yeah, it's very different to that, obviously.
In terms of, you just happy?
The depth of the analysis, that's it. That's what I'm interested in.
Are the players prepared for Palace basically to do what Everton and Fulham could do tomorrow and just sit back?
Well, they are slightly different, and as well, I don't think that Fulham, for example, wanted to sit back. You know, they never have that approach, and they have played against the Spurs, they have played against Liverpool. They haven't done that. Is what you are able to do to teams sometimes, that they have to do certain things. So in relation to the game and the game scenario, the scoreline obviously has a big input to that. We will face one game or another.
Arsenal legend Thierry Henry has delivered some sharp insights into the Gunners' recent struggles in attack, specifically pointing to Gabriel Martinelli's decision-making as a key issue. With Arsenal's over-reliance on Bukayo Saka and their predictability in the final third, is it time for Martinelli to step up? Let's dive into Henry's analysis and break down exactly what he means. Arsenal's attack has hit a wall. Since their 5-0 demolition of West Ham, the Gunners have struggled to score from open play. Their last 3 goals against Manchester United and Fulham all came from set pieces. And over the weekend, a goalless draw against Everton raised more concerns. With Liverpool dropping points, Arsenal had a golden opportunity to close the gap, but their predictability in attack, especially down the right-hand side, continues to hurt them. Enter Thierry Henry, the Arsenal icon and one of football's greatest finishers. Speaking on Sky Sports Monday Night Football, Henry highlighted Martinelli's poor decision-making as a big reason for Arsenal's struggles. Henry referenced a moment against Manchester United where Martinelli had a clear 1-versus-1 with Dalot. Instead of attacking the defender, Martinelli held up play, allowing the opportunity to disappear. Henry's frustration was clear. When you're 1-versus-1 in the final third, you have to be decisive. You can hesitate or bring the ball backwards, that kills the attack. The second example came against Everton. Henry pointed out Martinelli had 3 teammates in better positions, yet chose to cut onto his weaker foot and take a poor shot. Henry's point? Arsenal are creating chances, but poor decisions, particularly from Martinelli, are stopping them from turning those moments into goals. Henry also noted Arsenal's attacking predictability. The majority of their play goes through Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard down the right-hand side. While Saka is a generational talent, this over-reliance makes Arsenal easy to defend against. With Martinelli underperforming on the left, Arsenal's attack becomes one-dimensional. Teams know if they can neutralize Saka, Arsenal will struggle to break them down. It hasn't been a great week for Martinelli. After his offside call denied Saka's goal against Fulham, pundits like Paul Merson also criticized the Brazilian for lacking awareness and discipline. Martinelli is a fantastic talent, but as Henry suggests, decision-making in key moments separates good players from great ones. With Arsenal fighting for a Premier League title, Martinelli needs to step up and help ease the burden on soccer. So, what do you think? Is Thierry Henry right? Does Gabriel Martinelli need to improve his decision-making to help Arsenal's attack? Or are Arsenal's problems bigger than just one player? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for all the latest Arsenal news and analysis. Thanks for watching, and let's hope the Gunners find their firepower soon.